Hi, Stu here from Taunton Leisure, and today I'm going to talk to you about the brand Optimus. They are new to us, but they've been making stoves for 120 years, since 1899, would you believe? They're a Swiss company, and they kind of specialise in lightweight camping stoves. They do everything from countertop gas stoves, dual burner trekking stoves, multi-fuel stoves. They like making stoves, and they make good stoves and good cookware. We have a range from them, and we're going to go through some of those today with you. So let's get to it. Okay, so I thought we were going to talk about stoves, not gas. Well, what's down the bottom? A little Optimus pouch. Would you believe that you can now have a folding countertop stove that fits into a little neoprene pouch that folds into the bottom of your gas cartridge? I mean, that's pretty good for pack size. So it folds like this, and then you can pull that down and it locks into place. This mechanism is really strong, really durable. They had no issues with it, and they've been making the stove for a long time. This is the Optimus Crux canister top stove. My colleague in editing is going to put in some weights and boil times and heat output now for us. They'll be probably up there somewhere. So we'll put this one on to your stove. It fits any screw fit gas cartridge you can get in the UK, as long as it's a screw top one. This is MSR, but you know, Primus, Optimus make their own gas, Snow Peak gas, jet ball gas, all types of gas. I just like gas. Gas. Okay. So we're out the wind here under this nice granite tor up on the moors. There we go. So really good countertop stove, nice output, and we can turn it right down for simmering. So all you gourmet chefs out there can cook on a pan if you want to. And then for most of us who just want to boil water really fast, it's got some serious heat output. And when you pair it with the heat exchanging pot, which we're going to go through in a minute, it's a great combo. There we go. Okie dokie, so next up we've got this one, which is the Terra Weekend HE. HE stands for heat exchanger. On the bottom of this pot you've got a heat exchanging system, which you'll quite often see on fast boil systems, things like the jet boil. The MSR wind burner has a version of it, Primus do some as well, and it's designed to stop heat escaping up the side of the pot and increases your boil time by quite a bit. This pot is anodized aluminium with a non-stick coating on the inside. It's a really nice piece of kit, this pot, and it's 800ml, so it's big enough for a couple of people. You've got a cup there which you can use to drink out of. I'm not sure what else. You're not going to use it as a frying pan really. It's going to be a pretty small egg, maybe a fried quail's egg for breakfast. But it's got a little lip on it as well for pouring, and then obviously this works as a lid for when you're boiling water to make sure it boils nice and fast, with silicone grippers on the handles. You can buy this separately, so if you've already got a stove, this is going to be a great addition. It's going to really speed up your boil times and make your gas go a little bit longer. So although the pot might weigh a bit more than a traditional anodized pot or a titanium pot, it's going to save you weight because you're going to carry less gas on a longer trip. So in a minute we're going to do a boil test on this versus a titanium stove. Titanium pot. But first of all, I'm going to show you the next stove in our lineup from Optimus. My friend's going to put on the weights of this stove. They'll be, you know, around here somewhere probably. The weights and any other important information that I've missed out. Okay, the final stove is the Optimus Gemini. This thing is really cool. It's a super lightweight dual burner stove with a tiny little pack size. This was the ISPO winner in 2021, but it's a really cool lightweight stove. If you want to have something you can take small pack size down to the beach to cook on, or maybe as a group cooker for in the wild. It doesn't weigh very much at all. The weights will be on here, and the fact that you can use it with 2 pots at once means you can do some good gourmet cooking with it. So everything clips away nicely, and it works with screw top gas canisters. That comes out here, and then your gas comes into this lead. So we'll get our gas cartridge. Oh dear. There we go. So without the fact that my striker fell to pieces, that was lit pretty quickly, and we can get some pretty good boil time. There's 10 ways to get out the heat now for a dual burner. But 2 pots on there, frying pan, maybe cook your beans in one, your bacon on the other for a breakfast, or you can boil your pasta and cook your bolognese. I mean, it's limitless. That's about the limit of my outdoor cooking experience, but maybe if you gourmet chefs, it might be make something a bit more delicious on there than I can. So next up, we're going to use this, both burners, and we're going to try out a titanium pot boiling half a litre of water versus the heat exchanging pot you can get from Optimus, and we'll see, which boils water the fastest. Okay, the stove is fired up. We're on max on both stoves. So we've got here the Crux 800ml heat exchanging pot and my personal Snow Peak 700 titanium pot, which is available from us. So we're going to pop them both on at the same time and get the timer started. There we go. Let's see what happens then. It's just a waiting game now. There's half a litre of fresh Dartmoor water in both those pots. And I am in desperate need of a dried meal and coffee, so who's going to make it first? Just coming up on a minute now. It's a pretty good test. I mean, it's the same stove, same conditions for both. It's not the best weather up here, there's a little bit of wind around, so we could have used a windshield, but we've got a massive block of granite that's doing most of the work for us. I'm not sure if you can see it on the film, but you can just see loads of heat charging out the side of this Snow Peak stove. Like a heat haze where the heat's just escaping up the side, heating air, not the pot, whereas you can't really see that on the Optimus pot at all. Yeah, rolling boil on the Optimus pot, 2 minutes. You see how easy it must be to take off with these silicone clippers? I mean, the pot's not hot, I can use that nice and easily. Got boiling water. How are we getting on with the Snow Peak? Now, with the Snow Peak, I have to use this towel I have to carry with me because the pot gets too hot to handle otherwise. Nope, not rolling boil, still not there. It's boiling. Not a rolling boil, but it's boiling. I mean, I've been naughty now, taking it off twice to check. But it's taken twice as long to boil the same amount of water. There we go, got some steam coming out. Rolling boil. Done in 4 minutes. And I have to use this towel to take it off because that titanium is absolutely hot, you could say. So what's that shown us? It's taken twice as long to boil the same amount of water in a titanium pot without a heat exchanger. So heat exchangers are great because you're going to use less gas. So you've got to carry less gas. In this case, half as much gas to boil the same amount of water. So you've got to really be saving a significant amount of weight on the pot to warrant taking that snow peak pot. Also, you have to carry something like this, like a towel or something to handle that snow peak pot, because titanium is a good heat conductor, but it's almost too good and it spreads the heat everywhere apart from into the water. So those handles are too hot to hold on to now. I've made that mistake, I'm not going to make it again. You have to use a towel now to hold onto those handles, take it off. It takes ages, to take a pretty good time to cool down. The snow peak pot, because it's titanium, it's not non-stick either, so you can kind of boil water in it and that's about it. You can't really cook in it because it's going to burn pretty easily. So, although you save quite a bit on the weight, you end up carrying more gas than you would the Optimus stove. So my recommendation is probably to go for that Optimus pot, unless you're a super weight saver. It's only for one night at a time where the weight difference makes a difference. But we're going to weigh both of these now on some scales and find out the truth. I always come to Dartmoor with my trusty Salter kitchen scales, just for this very reason, because there's nothing I like more than when I'm on the hill to compare the weight of pots and pans. So let's put this one on first, see what that comes in at. 284 grams for the pot, and you get a proper lid with this one. Well, I say proper lid, you get 2 pounds really. Is this, can I handle this yet? Yeah. 126 grams. So, over 100 grams lighter. So you could carry that and a really small gas cartridge for the same weight as that pot, but you're going to need twice as much gas. So as soon as you're out for any reasonable amount of time, it's going to be better off carrying that Optimus pot because it's going to need less gas to carry. The other thing is those boil times. I mean, you're wasting so much gas and energy heating up that Snow Peak pot because it's just going out the sides. So 120 grams is, not an insignificant weight saving, but it's weight saving you could probably make somewhere else quite easily and then have a much more efficient stove.